Hey everyone, this is Nathan Broeckelman, and this is my Communicating Who You Are slideshow for business finance. This first slide here, just some pictures of my family. The first top to the left, or I guess all the way on the left, is me and my wife. That was this summer out in Pueblo, Colorado. We take our wrestling team. I'm the high school wrestling coach, which you'll learn about here soon, and we take them out to Pueblo, Colorado for a wrestling camp. And just do some hiking and some fun things with them. The middle picture is three of my five children. It's Cashton, Declan, and Taylor. And then on the right is three of our dogs. We have three dogs and a cat. We got two huskies there, Nico and Miska, and then the little miniature pinscher Jax there. So I'm 33 years old, almost 34. I did my high school at Norton Community High School and went to Kansas State University, and I'm now at Fort Hays State. I taught math for 9 years and driver's ed for 6 years. This was my 14th year coaching wrestling. I'm the head wrestling coach here at Great Bend High School. This year, we had three state champions at the top. The top right of those three, we had two boys state champions and a girls state champion. And then just the other bigger picture, just an action shot that is probably one of my favorite pictures that I've had taken of me and some of my wrestlers over the past couple of years. We have a very active family. We love being outdoors. We love doing projects. I'm very competitive, and we enjoy traveling. We are currently fostering, which is why I mentioned three of my five children that I have right now, and we are looking forward to hopefully being able to adopt at some point. The top left is just a group of kids that invited me to play on their dodgeball team for a Stuco contest, so I enjoy pouring into the kids and playing any kind of competition. We have a volleyball tournament and dodgeball tournament and teachers versus kids in basketball. So I enjoy participating in those things, even though I'm the wrestling coach. And then the bottom picture, just a picture of our playhouse that I had built for my kids in our backyard. We have a huge backyard. We live in about an acre lot, so we got plenty of room to run. So some things I learned from the resources that were given to us about business finance is that where does this money come from? 48% comes from state resources, 44% comes from local resources, and 8% from the federal sources. So a big chunk basically comes from our local, mostly property taxes, and from income taxes, sales taxes, and fees for other things for state resources is where a big chunk comes from. Some of the federal school funding programs are Title I, EL, acquisitions, Reading First, the Individuals with Disability Educations Act, and Improving Teacher Quality Grants. The state funding is different from state to state. I'm honestly not sure what Kansas is. I should have probably looked that up on my own, but I did say that it ranges from 3 to 11,000. I think they said 3,000 for Utah and maybe 11,000 for New York. And then local funding, most local funding, it just comes from our local property taxes or any mill levies or bonds that you pass, which usually still attached to those property taxes. The purpose of a budget is to help schools achieve its goals and establish a control system, and it helps motivate for employees to work harder. If they know they can get some of those things, they're going to obviously be motivated to try to work a little bit harder and do their job better. Some responsibilities for the principal, which is kind of what some of this was talking about, which we'll get into that in a second, but I think a lot of that just depends on what type of school or how big your school is. But the principal's responsibility is to make sure teacher salaries are in line with the Department of Education. They also need to track salary changes and job performance details and make sure that's all recorded. Decisions are often made by legislators or other district level employees, not just the principal. A lot of times the principal is treated like the middleman. They just kind of have to monitor everything and keep track of everything. They actually have very little control of how the money is actually spent, but they do have to follow finance formulas that are determined by the state. Sometimes it's limited due to the money being controlled by different mandates and the above financial formulas. So if you are asking for something, it's sometimes not like that the administrator doesn't want to let you have it, but sometimes they just can't, or they don't have the funds in the right spot for that time being. Some other responsibilities for the principal is understanding the limitations and flexibility of the school, approving and revising school budgets, reporting the use of school funds to relevant parties, establishing procedures for handling income and expenditures. Some things I've witnessed is just approving department spending, reviewing and passing along capital outlay projects, and also the review of supplemental pay. Some things that I have not witnessed is checking teacher salaries or actually creating the budget. I don't know if, imagine if you're not in the administrative role, you probably won't see anyone actually create a budget unless maybe you just ask to see how it works or different things like that. I've seen people create personal budgets, but creating a budget for a school or a business is definitely a bigger monster than just creating your own personal budget. And I think some of this is that I haven't witnessed some of those things is also just due to the size of our district and having employees at our district office that takes care of a lot of the financial responsibilities that I think a lot of the smaller school principals probably have to take care of. Some concerns that I have would be experience with a business-based budget. I do budget personally, but budgeting for a business or budgeting for our whole school would be a whole different animal. I just want to make sure I allocate funds correctly. Using money fairly, I said in quotations, meaning not that I'm favoring things or favoring certain departments or certain sports or different things like that, depending on whether you're principal or athletic director. And also making sure your budget is balanced. Again, personal budgeting is going to be a look way easier, and if you do your own budgeting, if you've done it for a while, it gets a little monotonous and you just got to kind of keep plugging along. But I feel like having a business or school budget is going to be completely different. And there's my references, and I look forward to getting to know some of you through your videos and learn more about building finance as we go through this class. Thank you.